Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Thursday, October 22nd, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. We have a lot of important information to go over, and in today's video, we're first going to go over how House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Mark Meadows both said they are very optimistic about a deal passing within the next 24 hours. They extended the 48-hour deadline that expired Tuesday evening, and they said that they think now we will have a deal within the next 24 hours. Moving on, we're also going to talk about how White House Communication Director Alyssa Farah likewise said that officials were optimistic there could be some movement and a potential deal this week. After that, we're going to talk about the Senate Democrats who blocked Republicans' attempt to pass a $500 billion second stimulus bill on Wednesday. And finally, at the end of the video, we're going to go over how President Trump on Wednesday came out and threw cold water on prospects of a second stimulus package coming together quickly, blaming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer for not acting quickly. So we're going to go over all of this and more, but before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free to do so, and it currently says about 50% of you watching are not subscribed. So if you'd like to stay up to date on the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news updates, well then please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 when you download the M1 Finance app as well. So, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Mark Meadows both said they are very optimistic about a deal passing within the next 24 hours. Pelosi had an interview with MSNBC yesterday evening and said that she thinks we have a prospect for an agreement this week. She goes on to explain that none of this is insurmountable if they want to make a decision. And she explained how obviously Steven Mnuchin and her wouldn't be meeting if they didn't think they could come to an agreement before the election. So that is why she is so optimistic. Pelosi's spokesman Drew Hamil reported more progress on the second stimulus bill after the hour-long meeting between Steven Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi on Wednesday. He said, the Speaker and Secretary Mnuchin spoke today at 2:30 for 48 minutes. Today's conversation brought them a lot closer to being able to put the pen to paper to write legislation, and ultimately, with the exchange of legislative language, they are now better prepared to reach a compromise on several priorities. He goes on to explain that there are some differences still right now, and he says these differences continue to be narrowed on health priorities, language providing a national testing and contact tracing plan, but more work also needs to be done to ensure that schools are the safest place in America for children to learn. And finally, he said that the good news ultimately is, though, that Speaker and Secretary Treasury Mnuchin plan to speak again later today, hopefully with further guidance from committee chairs as they work to resolve the couple of open questions left on the second stimulus bill. Moving on, President Trump on Wednesday threw cold water on the prospects of a stimulus package coming together quickly just hours after his own top aides said they were very optimistic about a bill passing moving forward. Trump came out yesterday and tweeted that he just doesn't see any way Nancy Pelosi and Cryin Chuck Schumer will be willing to do what is right for our great American workers or our wonderful USA itself on stimulus. The president cited Democrats' push for state and local aid as a major hurdle right now, and he said ultimately the people don't deserve this and that Democrats should be focusing on getting money into the hands of Americans, not worrying about state and local government funding. He said that shouldn't be the issue that is holding up a bill right now. Next up is speaking to reporters late in the day on Wednesday. White House Communications Director Alyssa Farah likewise said that officials were very optimistic there could be some movement on a potential deal within the next 24 hours. She told reporters at the White House that the president's position is that we're willing to go up on the number for the Paycheck Protection Program loans and for direct payments themselves. She goes on to explain how some of the issues right now are still around state and local government funding, but great news is she said that I think it's kind of the best place we've been in so far, so she is cautiously optimistic about a deal passing this week. Moving on, let's go over the $500 billion bill that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell put up for a vote yesterday in the Senate. So Senate Democrats blocked Republicans' attempt to pass this $500 billion second stimulus bill on Wednesday as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin continue to make a last-ditch push to strike a deal before the 2020 election. McConnell put this bill up for a vote on the Senate floor yesterday, and it failed in a 51-44 party line vote, and it ultimately fell short of the 60 votes it needed to pass. This bill, which is a $500 billion bill, would have provided aid to small businesses, $300 per week in extra unemployment benefits, and the ability to deduct some charitable donations while taking the standard income tax deduction. So ultimately, even though this bill didn't pass, it ultimately wouldn't have included direct stimulus payments in it. And lastly, Mark Meadows told reporters on Capitol Hill yesterday on Wednesday that we don't have a Pelosi-Mnuchin deal yet. He explained that once we get a deal, hopefully they'll be able to discuss the merits of this bill with their Senate colleagues and convince enough of them to vote yes for this bill so it can pass. The problem is right now that many Republican senators don't want to sign off on a large stimulus bill. So even once Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi agree to something and it passes the House, the problem could be that Republicans in the Senate don't want to pass the bill, and ultimately if they don't agree to pass it, then we won't be getting these stimulus checks, because in order for a bill to pass into a law, we're going to need the House, the Senate, and President Trump. So anyways, that's just a quick update on what's going on with the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Thursday, October 22nd, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.